Welcome back to our show today, and we're talking about the least known country in the world that has the least population, but it's very, very powerful, that it leads and manipulates or colonizes other great nations. And when you talk about this, I know people are asking, which nation is this? Yeah, it's a very, very, very small nation that most people don't know, but they don't know of it as a nation, but they know it as a spiritual center. And we're talking about Vatican. So these are the things that you don't know about Vatican City, Vatican as a country. The Vatican as a country is an area that covers 110 acres or 0.17 square miles, like 0.17 square miles, something that you can cover on foot from one end to the other end within a day. Within a day, with a very good walking persistence, you can cover it in one day from border to border. So that is how small the Vatican country and Vatican state is. The population of this state is approximated from 800 to 1,000 people. 800 to 1,000 people. 800 to 1,000 people in a country. Okay, that's the population of the Vatican City. And you're yet to get more surprising news on the same. So the population comprises of the 800 to 1,000 people that are approximated, comprises of the clergy. It also comprises of the Swiss guards. We will get to understand how many Swiss guards, how many soldiers make a Swiss guard. And then we have the lay workers, those guys who work for these people. And then only 450 who might be that is the actual citizens of that country. So it's a country that has only 450 citizens. The rest of the people that are there are not the citizens of that country, but people who have come from other countries to work within that country, either as clergies, lay people, and the Swiss guard. And then you'll ask me, where is the Vatican City located? The Vatican City is located in Rome, that is in Italy. And it became an independent state, that is in February 1929, under a Lateran treaty between the Holy See and Italy. So it's a country that has been in existence in 1929, from 1929 as an independent country. From 1929. Then what's the main significance of the Vatican City? The main significance of Vatican City is it's just a spiritual and administration center for the Roman Catholic Church and the residence of the Pope. That is where the Pope stays, and that is where most of the decisions of the Roman Catholic Church are made. The Constitution, like every administrative decision, is made within Rome. And that is where, within the Vatican City, that is where you'll hear that the Pope has a briefing, or the Pope is announcing something, and every Catholic Church in the world has to follow that. That's why I told you it's a very small country, with less than 1,000 citizens, plus the workers who are there. They get themselves to at least 1,000 people. But that small country is very, very, very powerful. The country is very, very powerful, that it's able to lead and control other bigger nations around the world. We are yet to talk about other surprising things about this country. Now, we talked about every country has to have a military, police, military, like an arm that maintains law and order, then another arm that protects that country from external threats. So external threats is defended by an army, or what people say army, either Airforce, wherever, Naval force. Talk about the armed forces. Do they have an armed forces? Do they have a police? Yes, they have. Do we call it armed forces? No, they don't call it an armed force. So, literally, the Vatican City, or the Vatican as a country, doesn't have an armed force. No, they don't have an armed force. They don't have fighter jets. They don't have ships in the water. warships in the waters that are guarding them. They don't have satellites in the air that are guarding them, though there was a conspiracy that they have some satellites, but they are not using the satellites for protection. They are using the satellites to monitor the aliens because they feel like these things are true and one of these fine days they might come. So they just want to know whether they are coming or not. But those are the secrets of the Vatican. That's the rumors that people talk about, but they are yet to be verified to be true or not. So they literally don't have satellites in the air that in the space that are competing with the other superpower countries like the US, Russia, India, and China. They don't have nuclear warheads that they can send in a given country to destroy them. Like, they literally don't go to war. They've never gone to a physical war, like going to war with a given country. Nor have they sent their troops to help in NATO. So they are non-NATO members. They are not in NATO. They are not among the BRICS. They are not among the BRICS. Wow, they're just themselves and all that. So if they don't have an armed force, they don't have fighter jets, they don't have warships in the waters of Italy, they don't have nuclear warheads, how do they manage to be as powerful as they are? So for them, we talked about the Swiss Guard military force. Okay, just called a Swiss Guard military force, but it's not really a military force. Like, there's no force that they have. So the responsibility of the military of the Swiss Guard is just for the personal protection of the Pope and security of the Apostolic Palace and other Vatican properties. So this force is just to protect the Pope and whatever is found within the Vatican. That is all. Like, they're not going to external war. So if they want to go to external war, who helps them? Maybe Italy or Switzerland, something of that kind. So the Swiss Guard was established in 1506 by Pope Julius II. That is when it was established. Then the size is only made of 135 soldiers. Those are the soldiers that make up the Swiss Guard. So it's not something that is so big, that needs recruitment each and every time. Then the recruitment of the members, if you want to become a Swiss Guard member, you must be a Swiss citizen. That is the first thing. Then number 2, you must be unmarried. You must not be married. And then number 3, you must be a man. And then number 4, you must be of ages of that's between 19 to 30 years. Yep. And then you have attended a basic military training in Switzerland. Those are the qualifications of the guys who are to make up, the Swiss Guard. So it's only 135. When China is boasting of millions of recruited soldiers ready to work, US is boasting of millions, Russia is boasting of millions. Talk about India, that is also boasting of millions of enrolled and active army members in the uniform with different squadrons. That is the air squadrons and different departments. That's the air, the naval, the ground invasion. Unlike those other superpower countries that are doing great, Vatican doesn't have that. Now, how is Vatican ruling the world plus even the superpower countries, and they don't have what the superpower countries have? They don't have the biggest air carriers within the waters around the world, patrolling and trying to make sure that there is peace in Vatican. They don't have the best stealth planes. They don't have submarines in the water. They don't have F-35 or F-40 whatever fighter jets that are so good. They don't have a large army. They don't have nuclear warheads. They are not manufacturing armored vehicles to go to war. But they are ruling the world. They are ruling 3/4, like they are ruling the entire world. I think the Pope is the only guy who can go to North Korea, and Kim Jong-un will not have no problem with him. He will go to Russia, and the Russian president will have no problem with him. He will go to China, and the Chinese president will have no problem with him. He can travel to any other country, and those people in that country have no problem with him. He will go to Arabic countries, and the leaders of those Arabic countries will have no problem with him. And when he goes there, he's not going to sign a peace, a security pact with these people. No, He's going to do what he's supposed to do as a leader of the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, and he comes back to the small city. So the question is, of which I would like you guys to also help me answer, is how does the Vatican City, a country so small, just 110 acres, be able to control the entire world and let the entire world submit unto it and do what that small city commands them to do without even asking questions? Is there a better way of ruling people that people don't really mind whether you have an army or not? Yeah, this is when we come to what we call faith. Faith can move mountains, and faith can make everything work the way you want it to work. And I believe that is the only form of manipulation that can make people do whatever they want to do. Look at North Korea. North Korean people look at the North Korean president, President Trump will call him the rocket guy, as a god. They worship him as a god, and that is their god. And because of that, there's never been a revolt in North Korea, because they believe their supreme leader is their god, and you don't joke around with God, or you don't mess with God. Is it the same thing that is applied within the Vatican City? Seen as a spiritual city or a spiritual country, and because of that spirituality, the rest of the people in the world, respect it, and no one dares to go and start a riot or fight or cause anything that might bring problem or trouble within that city. It's a very small city. There is a country so independent, with its own leadership, its own administration, and does everything on its own. But it doesn't have big armies to go fight for it. So what if the country is invaded? Who will fight for it? Angels from heaven? Angels from heaven will fight, will come and fight. There's a probability for that. But that leads me again to some of the biblical prophecies where I say that small horn will sprout up, and that small horn will take care will conquer the rest of the bigger horns that were, and that smaller horn will become so superior. Is it the smaller horn, Vatican City, the smaller horn that is leading and conquering the rest of the world? Not with weapons, not with war or war machines, but just with one thing that we call faith and manipulation, or what is really happening. So I know you never knew that Vatican City is a country on its own, and you never knew that they don't have a military force. They don't have fighter jets, they don't have submarines, they don't have warships in the water, they don't have plane carriers, plane carriers in the waters that can harbor and ensure the taking off and the landing of warplanes or fighter jets that are fighting with an enemy. This is the only country that has not sent people to participate in NATO activities around the world. It's not the only country that has not it has no alliances, military alliances. It just survives on its own, and that is it, with its leader as the Pope. And you can see those are their soldiers. These are their soldiers. Now, if they are dressed in whatever they are dressed in, do you want to tell me they can go and fight? No, they cannot go and fight. They cannot fight other nations the way they are dressed and all that. So if you're visiting Vatican City, or if you're visiting Rome, please make it on your bucket list to go and visit the Royal Swiss barracks and see how they are working, or whatever in those barracks. That is on my bucket list. The next time I visit Rome, I'll have to do that, because I missed it. But next time I'll have to do it. And if you're not be recruited in the Swiss Guard, make sure you're from Switzerland, and you are a man who is not married and of age of 19 to 30 years. Maybe that will give you a chance to make it in the Royal Swiss Guard. Not Royal Swiss Guard, but in the Swiss Guard that takes care and protects the Pope and everything in the Apostolic Palace in Vatican City. Otherwise, with all that, it will be kind of you if you just do a subscription and leave me a comment on the comment section of what you know about the Roman city. And the Vatican City is the only country in the world that is so powerful and great, but it doesn't have war and nuclear warheads. It doesn't have fighter jets. It doesn't have a fleet of ships within the waters that are protecting them. They don't have plane carriers in the water that are protecting them. They don't have powerful submarines and stealth jets to protect them against anything. They're just them and themselves. And that is it for today. Until next time we meet. Bye. And I love you all.